Okay, I'd like to call this meeting of the Coralville City Council to order, please. August 8th, 2017. Roll call.
Councilmember Hoft. Present. Gross. Here. Gill. Present. Dodds. Goodrich.
Here.
Okay, all council members except for Dodds are present. Jill would love to be here tonight, but she had a health issue that prohibits her from moving very easily right now. She has a very bad back at the moment. But she said she'd be watching us on TV, so hi, Jill. City administrator, city attorney, city clerk, and several other staff members are also present. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the agenda is approved. Okay, this is a very momentous and honorable evening tonight. We have a total of 4 new Coralville police officers that are present to be sworn in to serve our community. It's something that they're proud of, and we are equally proud of them, and I'm sure their families that are in the audience share that pride as well. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask Chief Crone to step up and just say a few words about the new officers and what they've been through and what they have left to do. Then I'm going to come around and I'll swear the 4 of you in, and we'll take a moment to take some photos with each of you. So go right ahead.
Mr. Mayor, Council, thank you. I'm pleased to introduce to you the 4 newest members of the Coralville Police Department. They come from different places with different backgrounds, different life experiences, but they have one thing in common. They're good people. At the end of the lengthy application, interview, background process, I believe these 4 officers best fit our policing philosophy, and they are committed to serving the city and the citizens of Coralville. They are here tonight to take the oath of office. Clayton Penrod grew up in Vienna, Illinois. He graduated from Shawnee Community College with his Associate of Science degree in 2004. He joined the Mounds, Illinois Police Department in 2006 and worked for the Pulaski and Johnson County, Illinois Sheriff's Office before joining the Massac County Sheriff's Office, where he has been since 2008. Clayton is a certified Illinois police officer with 11 years of law enforcement experience. He's married to Courtney, and they have a 5-year-old daughter. Damon Spencer Jr. grew up in Waterloo and then Traer, graduating from North Tama High School in 2013. He earned an associate's degree in police science from Hawkeye Community College in 2016 and completed a 128-hour internship with the Evansdale Police Department. Damon is a certified Iowa police officer and was working part-time at Hudson when we hired him. Robert Duncan II was born in Atlantic and raised all over Iowa and southern Minnesota. There were too many places to list. But graduated from high school in Ankeny in 2003. He served in the United States Army from 2004 to 2009, including a deployment to Afghanistan as part of Operation Enduring Freedom. Bob worked as a police officer at Iowa City VA from 2009 until joining the Coralville Police Department last month. He is married to Marcina and has 2 sons, ages 11 and 9. Christopher Kapfer grew up in Cedar Rapids. He graduated from Xavier High School, Kirkwood Community College, and Mount Mercy University. He holds a BA in criminal justice. Chris's twin brother Eric works for the North Liberty Police Department. That might get a little confusing on Highway 965. Got that down? Chris worked at Hy-Vee for 6 years and was an assistant manager before joining the department in July. Chris and Bob will start the Iowa Law Enforcement Academy in September. The other 2 will finish their FTO and be released.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shane. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have the 4 of you read the oath with me, and just obviously when it comes time to say your name, say your name. And so, Christopher, there's yours. And Damon, and Robert, and Clayton, you and I are going to share this because I don't have my own copy. But I'll hold it so you can read it too. So we're in good shape. So please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States.
Do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the State of Iowa and the ordinances of the City of Coralville.
The Constitution of the State of Iowa and the ordinances of the City of Coralville.
I will faithfully and impartially, to the best of my ability, discharge all duties of the office of the police officer in the City of Coralville,
I will faithfully and impartially, to the best of my ability, discharge all duties of the office of the police officer in the City of Coralville,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Dated this 8th day of August, 2017. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Come on, Mayor.
Unless she calls us back. Okay. Okay, here we go. Congratulations. Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks to the rest of the department as well. Appreciate it. All that you do. Well, the folks are leaving. I was just going to mention, too, that these 4 officers are replacements to officers that have left our department for a variety of reasons. They're not expansions of the department. So we'll be up to full force again very soon. We appreciate that.
That's what I was wondering. Where's
Where's the money coming?
where's the rest of them? Because we got most of them here.
That's true.
Who's on the street?
Okay, very good. But also, I have the pleasure and honor tonight of making a proclamation, and this is to proclaim September 1st, 2017 as University Club Day. And I'd like to read this proclamation and sign it, and then invite you to come up and receive it and say a few words if you'd like. Whereas, for over a century, the University Club has played an important role for women at, in the Iowa City Coralville area, providing opportunities to socialize with others through luncheons and multiple interest groups. As stated in their constitution from 1917, the organization was created to be broad enough to include the activities of mature women whose interest centers in the University of Iowa, and yet concrete enough to be practical and effective. And whereas the concept of a women's group originated with 3 individuals in 1917 and was embraced by 55 charter members, the club has grown to nearly 700. Originally associated with the faculty and family members, a vote by the members in 1979 was passed to open the club to all women in the community who supported the University of Iowa. And whereas, in the past, the women of the club supported the war efforts during World War I and World War II, including the Red Cross, and sent care packages to our soldiers, held informative meetings on women's suffrage, made dolls clothes for young girls in the hospital, was the 1955 recipient of the Hampshire Award given for promoting respect to other nations, and continues to today to be open to newcomers moving into the community as a way to get involved with awarding scholarships annually to female students at the University of Iowa. Now, therefore, I, John A. Lundell, the mayor of the city of Coralville, do hereby proclaim September 1st, 2017 as the University Club. And I urge all citizens to take part in the mission of the University Club, which is to support women in the community who have an interest in the University of Iowa. Signed in Coralville, Iowa, this 8th day of August, 2017. John A. Lundell.
You're killing his pencil.
And if you'd like to receive it, if you want a photo, I'm willing to come around and. Sure. Is that good, Mary? Come up if you need to. Or...
No, I like her too. I hold the camera.
Okay. Whoever drew the short start off, please say a few words if you would.
Thank you
Yep,
so much.
At the microphone.
Thank you so much. Our club has grown.
Yeah, that's at the microphone, so the people at home can hear you as well.
Thank you so much. Our club has grown very quickly and very slowly. In 100 years, we have accomplished a great deal. We continue to work very hard to promote scholarships for the university. This past year, we have given scholarships. We gave 3 scholarships in the amount of $1,400. The total that we have given over the years in scholarships is over $40,000. And that continues to be our goal, to increase that every year. We have a big goal this year. We would like to raise $10,000 for our scholarship endowment fund. And I thank you very much.
Thank you. Great, thank you. Pleasure to do it. Good to see you, Mary. And you're welcome to stay as long as you'd like, but if you'd like to leave, that's your excuse, so. Funny, most people leave, I don't understand that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, item 6 is citizen comments. I see a citizen coming to the microphone to address us this evening. Howard.
Hi, I'm Howard Horan. I address you as a member of the board of the Coralville Food Pantry. Just to give you a very, very quick report, July we distributed 18,738 pounds of food to 997 individuals, 301 families, and a total of 646 family visits. I am amazed and proud to be part of a group that is growing like this. The organization is getting tighter and higher, and everything is working out. We're on our way to becoming part of the United Way and firming up policies and doing really important things. So we appreciate your support. Thank you.
Good, thank you, Howard. Thank you for your work. Anyone else like to say anything? Okay, we'll move on then to item number 7, which is the Urban Renewal Plan Amendments, public hearing. Item A is a consultation report.
Yes, I held the consultation last Thursday, August 3rd. None of the taxing districts, the county, or either school district showed up. We did have one citizen show up, and I did go over the plan with her, and I gave you a report in the memo there. So that was the consultation report. And she had concerns about some of the projects listed on there. As I reminded her that this is an annual process that goes on, as required by the Code of Iowa, that started about 3 or 4 years ago. So this is an annual process that we go through to add projects to the area.
And again, for the sake of the audience, embellish just a little bit talking about adding the projects.
So what you do is, in the past, you used to be able to say, we'll do infrastructure projects or give grants to certain businesses that create jobs. So now anytime we do a specific project like we added in the crossing for the Lowe's, the railroad crossing there that goes to the Altmeyer family. We add that in, and then you can use TIF money to pay for that. It doesn't mean you have to, but you have to have the project listed now and before you can expend money on that.
Before you move forward.
Sure, makes projects eligible at least.
Yeah,
For
Yes.
so the thing to remember is that there's a whole process that has to occur before any of the actual projects occur. And, you know, there will have to be agreements, there's all kinds of things, depending on whether it's a private project or a city project, there's different things that have to happen. But there's going to be a whole series of things that'll happen for every one of those projects before you, in reality, any money is expended. And so,
See, 20 years ago, those things didn't occur.
No.
This is a fairly
no, because
recent-
before, the agreements and the urban renewal plans were extremely general. And you could basically, as Kevin mentioned, you could say infrastructure. And that was basically all you'd have to say. In any road, any building, a bridge, anything could be built under the old law. And now you just have to be extremely specific so that people know that these are the things that are being considered for the coming years.
And that's
And I
only
think
been,
that's- oh, go ahead,
go
Bill.
ahead. That's only been in effect for a couple of years,
Yes,
hasn't it? Yeah.
correct.
I was gonna say, I think that's where the confusion is. So by saying, we're amending it to include these projects, but we're not saying these projects are being done as said. So just for the people out there, it's a really important distinction. We're just kind of widening the scope, if you will, of things that could be done. But, this is just to amend the plan that exists.
And
right now.
and the other thing to remember for people reading through those amendments, you're also very liberal with the dollar amounts because you have no idea at this point in time because you're very early in the projects. You don't know how much specifically you're going to spend, and so you can't go over the amount, but you certainly can go under the amount.
But basically, it's a filter and it's a mechanism to inform the community where we are going with our dollars.
Oh, you bet.
It's kind of when a kid asks me what's going to be on the test, and I say, well, it's anything in Chapter 20, but I don't have to put everything on Chapter 20 on the test.
Yeah. You always switch things up.
I'm
don't
getting
you?
into my teacher mode here.
Yeah.
We're getting close.
My daughter always says they put stuff that's not in the chapter 20 on the test.
Which is why we have this new law, right?
That's where you start.
Yeah, exactly.
Chapter 20.
I think the one distinction I'll just mention too is that we're not changing the boundaries of the area at all. It's the same boundaries that we've had for many years now. It's just projects within those boundaries.
And I did explain, and the citizen we did agree that the mall portion of the TIF financing is coming off on June 30th
That's
of
right.
2018, and reiterated that to her, and she agreed that was going to happen.
And after
So-
20 years, the TIF
Yes.
seems to be working.
Yes.
The county is receiving millions of dollars in economic development, which will go into the whole region. And if the county doesn't want that, they can always return it.
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay, I think we've explained it well enough. I'm going to open the public hearing for any comments. Anyone want to comment on this? Any written comments?
Had 2 emails sent, which I forwarded to the council and you, Mayor, from Elizabeth Dinschel and Miriam Timmer Hackert about some concerns about the TIF district.
Okay, and we received those. So thank you very much, and we will consider those.
Also remember that you can't use TIF dollars for operating expenses. That's another. The money's got to be spent in the TIF area
That's right.
itself.
Okay, thank you. Okay, well, seeing no further comments, I'm going to close the public hearing and consider the resolution.
Resolution approving an amendment number 8 to the amended and restated urban renewal plan for the Mall and Highway 6 urban renewal area, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Hof, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Discussion. Roll call.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hoft.
All right.
Resolution is approved, all ayes, with Dodds absent. Item 8 is a purchase agreement, also a public hearing. This is a hearing on a proposal to dispose of interest in property, actually selling it to the Iowa Department of Transportation on behalf of the state of Iowa for the construction of some of the I-380 improvements. I have to honestly say, it's nice that they're giving us money. The exchange is going that direction. I'll open the public hearing. Any comments? Any written?
No written.
Okay, I'll close the public hearing and consider the resolution.
Resolution approving a purchase agreement with the State of Iowa, Iowa Department of Transportation in connection with the Interstate 380 interchange improvements, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gill. Discussion? Roll call.
Gill.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hoft.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes, with Dodds absent. Item 9 is a Jordan Aquifer modeling. This is a resolution to approve a proposal with the Iowa Geological Survey to continue to conduct a study modeling the usage of the Jordan Aquifer in Johnson and Lynn counties. Coralville is one of nearly all the area communities and counties that make use of this aquifer. They'll be a part of this study when it's done.
Resolution approving a proposal from the Iowa Geological Survey to conduct a modeling of the Jordan Aquifer in Johnson and Lynn counties, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gill, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Hof. Discussion. Roll call.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hoft.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes with Dodds absent. Item 10 is Stormwater Pump Stations 7 and 8, Modifications Project, Materials Testing, and Construction Observation. A quotation report by City Engineer Dan Holderness.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We received quotes for this work on the materials testing for the stormwater pump stations 7 and 8. We received 3 quotes. The low quote was submitted by Terracon Consultants in the amount of $14,763. And so we'd recommend award to Terracon Consultants.
Okay. Thank you, Dan. Item B is considered a resolution.
Resolution accepting quotation and awarding the engineering services agreement for stormwater pump stations 7 and 8 modifications project, material testing, and constructing observation. Introduced by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Hoft. Discussion? Roll call.
Holt. Aye. Gross.
Aye.
Gill. Aye. Goodrich.
Aye.
Resolution approved, all ayes with Dodds absent. Item 11 is the IRL Drury Parking Ramp Project, Materials Testing and Construction Observation. Also a quotation report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For this project, we received 4 quotes for these services. The low quote was submitted by Team Services in the amount of $56,347.70. Team was the company that did this work for us on the intermodal phase 1, so we've had experience with them, and it was a satisfactory experience, so we'd recommend award to Team Services.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Resolution?
Resolution accepting quotation and awarding the engineering services agreement to IRL Drury Parking Ramp Project, Material Testing, and Construction Observation. Introduced for adoption by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Hoft. Discussion? Roll call.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Holt. Aye.
Resolution approved, all ayes with Dodds absent. Item 12, thank you, Dan, is Traffic Preemption System for Emergency Vehicles. Quotation report? Someone going to give that? Or?
I wasn't here when we took that, so.
It was in the packet.
In the packet.
Yep. Yeah, the fire chief did give a report, and this would be on the installation on 9 of the city's 24 traffic signals. And what the fire department has done is they have prioritized which signals they would do, and over time, over the next 3 to 4 years, they would do other intersections, but these are the primary ones that they have the most issues with and are closest to the fire stations currently. And the fire department themselves will, staff will be installing the equipment because they have the knowledge to do that. And so they were able to get a very good price for doing those, and that came from Traffic Control Corporation was the low bid, and the net price is $44,500, and that's for the 9 intersections that they would be doing. They'll also be then installing, over several years, they will install the information on the fire equipment because it needs to know, and that's how it detects those coming forward. And then the same equipment could be used by other departments over the years if they decide that they have the need. They could come to you during the budget time and say, hey, we'd like to make use of the same technology. Just requires you to put the technology on that individual vehicles. But for right now, it would only be the fire department making use of it, and it would be for 9 intersections.
Okay. Thank you, Kelly. Resolution, please.
Resolution accepting quotation and awarding an agreement for a traffic preemption system for emergency vehicles is introduced for adoption by Councilmember Hof, seconded by.
Second.
Ooh, it's close. Second by Gross. Discussion?
Well, I guess one thing I was going to say that the fire department chose to use the money to pay for this would be coming from the proceeds of the sale of the ladder truck is where the funds would be coming from.
Great. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Gill. Aye. Goodrich.
Aye.
Holt. Aye. Gross.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes with Dodds absent. Item 13 is a Highway 6 and Jones Boulevard Traffic Signals Improvement Project. This is a resolution just setting a public hearing for our next council meeting on August 22nd on this project, the proposed project to install traffic signals at that intersection of Highway 6 and Jones Boulevard.
Resolution setting a public hearing on the plan, specifications, estimate of cost, and form of contract for Highway 6 and Jones Boulevard traffic signal improvements, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Discussion? Roll call.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hope.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Resolution approved all ayes with Dodds absent. Item 14 is Coral Crossing 4th Edition. This is a resolution that is accepting municipal improvements to that particular subdivision.
Resolution accepting municipal improvements at Coral Crossing 4th Edition, Coralville, Iowa, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gill, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Hoft. Discussion?
Yeah, this is the portion that is the townhomes around the pond in the middle of this subdivision that had the bigger buildings on the outside. So they're building those townhomes along with the bigger buildings at this point.
Okay.
Out by Jones Boulevard.
Great. Thanks, Kevin. Roll call.
Hope.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Resolution is approved all ayes with Dodds absent. Item 15 is Resource Enhancement and Protection Grant, otherwise known as a REAP grant, proposal to apply. I was going to describe it, but who can do a better job than me is Sherry Proud, the Director of Parks and Rec.
Yes, this is with the Iowa DNR, and the Resource Enhancement and Protection Program provides funds for land acquisition, for development, and also for restoration. And our grant this year is a grant application for restoration. It addresses non-native invasive species in targeted areas of Coralville forests and to manage stands in a way that encourages native tree population. So we're going to be focusing, what this is it comes from during the past winter, we worked with the Iowa DNR, received a grant under the U.S. Forest Service to evaluate about 157 acres of the Coralville forests. And under that Healthy Forest Initiative, we've identified areas in the Clear Creek Greenbelt, Auburn Hills, Auburn East, and the Stables Basin, where we will be able to go in and manually remove understory growth, invasive species such as honeysuckle, oriental bittersweet, multiflora rose, burning bush, and other non-natives, and invasive species, so that we can encourage the healthy growth of our hardwood trees in those areas. The total grant is for $76,250, and we have a match amount of $12,750, and that comes from our general operating budget in programs that we already do within our forestry division, such as planting trees, seeding, and part of that is the new Conservation Corps program that is in the FY18 budget.
Great. Hope we get it. Any questions for Sherry?
How many acres of trees do we have in Coralville?
Oh, well, that's a good question. I'm not sure I can totally answer it, but we worked with Mark Vitash and Emma Hannigan at the DNR, and these areas that have identified, there's obviously more acres there, but these are
Right.
kind of the core of those forests in those areas.
157 acres.
Right now, we have more than 157 acres. We have 857 total open space acres
Right.
within the city of Coralville, and that doesn't include our manicured park areas. And that breaks down into forests, wetlands, woodlands, prairies, all of that. So I would say about a third of that, if I had to take an educated guess, is
So I
in
think you
forests.
got a pretty good handle on it, right?
I try.
Thank you, Sherry.
Resolution, please.
Resolution approving an application to the Iowa Department of Natural Resources for grant funding via the Resource Enhancement and Protection Program, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gross, right? Oh,
Or Bill.
Hoft. I wasn't sure which one that came from.
Through my voice.
Oh, you did. Any discussion? All, roll call.
Gill.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hope.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Resolution passes all ayes with Dodds absent. Thank you, Sherry.
I asked her to stay because I was going to ask her something at her next
Oh,
moment.
oh,
So
okay.
I didn't want her going back and
Okay,
forth.
I thought you just wanted to sit there for a while. Okay, item 16 is a consent consent calendar as presented or amended.
I make a motion to approve the consent calendar, items A through FF inclusive.
Second.
Seconded by Hope. Discussion. Did you want to ask a question, Mitch?
No, not on this.
Oh, okay. Okay, not on this. No discussion? Roll call. Hope.
Aye. Gross. Aye. Gill.
Aye.
Goodrich. Consent calendar is approved, all ayes with Dodds absent. Item 17 is City Administrator's Report.
Thank you, Mayor. Several items for you tonight. First of all, I would just like to note the passing of Kevin Olson's father up in Austin, Minnesota. He had a long history of service to his community, and I thought one thing that was very interesting was that in these hard times to get color guards to show up at funerals. At his dad's funeral, there was over 20 people there as to honor him from the color guard from the VFW and American Legion. And my understanding was that Kevin's dad had served in that role for over 25 years that he had been in the color guard. So just one of many ways that his father had served the community, including he was known for making donuts.
We had a donut maker at church, so that's how the men's club raised money. They sold donuts to people for like $3 a dozen. So he was like the kingmaker. He had a special recipe and stuff.
I hope he passed it on.
Well, I don't know who he passed it on to.
So,
He actually had a donut bouquet at the funeral. That was given to him from the church. So.
Next item, I'd just like to remind people that we have coming up a week from Saturday on the 19th, the 5th Street Social. And that is from 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock between 6th and 10th Avenue on 5th Street. Lots of great activities, live music, a kids zone, beverage garden. So a lot of fun things. This will be the second year for that activity, but through city staff, Sherry's one of those people leading the effort, but we also have a lot of businesses and the developers involved in planning this and expanding this. So I just encourage people to come out because it's a really fun time. Last year was really, really enjoyable, and this year should be even better. So appreciate everybody's effort and encourage you to come out. Also, there'll be food there available as well. Just note that at the end of the council meeting, we will be, as part of the work session, touring the water plant, the construction project that's going on at the water plant. This is one of the major projects that we have going on at the city right now, and it's not very obvious because all of this work kind of goes on behind the scenes. But very, very important work that's going on there. And I think Kevin will continue on for, another year? Or how much? Yeah. So, Kevin, you want to just take 2 minutes and tell everybody what we'll be seeing, because obviously the audience won't be there, but just some of the things that's happening at the plant.
Well, we're doing a lot of things up at the plant. The biggest part of the project will be the addition of 4 filters, which will enable us to double the treatment capacity at the water plant. We are in the process of constructing a new disinfection room, which will replace the old chlorine feed room. We'll be adding another aerator, which aids in removing hydrogen sulfide from the water. We're doing some interior and exterior rehabilitation of the ground storage tanks at the water plant site. We're also doing some improvements to the booster station. There's some piping we're going to be replacing, and we're doing some software and hardware upgrades in the building as well.
So all those things are happening right now at the water plant, and people can't see those, but it's a very important project. This is a major complete renovation of the whole water plant, and so that should take care of us it's planned for the next 20 years of growth. So that's an important project for all of us. And that's all I have at this time.
Okay, thank you, Kelly. Mayor's report. First of all, I'd just like to, on behalf, I think all the council members would agree, we had a very successful National Night Out event last Tuesday night. The police department did a terrific job, as did the fire department, of going around and meeting with the neighbors. We split up. There's the largest number ever. 13 households had picnics and events that night. So the council, and as did the police and fire, split up into 2 teams, and we all went off in different directions. And I think we all had a great experience, and very positive comments came back. So it was a nice evening, beautiful evening. Couldn't have been better, I think. So
We'd just like to thank the neighborhood people for doing that.
Absolutely.
That was coming out. That's great.
And the only other item I had was to offer congratulations to our city administrator, Kelly Hayworth. Today is his 29th anniversary of working for the city of Coralville. 29 years ago, he was just a little kid. You could hardly see him over in that chair. He was so small, you know. But he's matured. And congratulations. We might take you out for an adult beverage or something this year, but next year for 30, I don't know what we're going to do, but watch out. So, but speaking of next year, I was also realizing that we're a little past due on his annual performance evaluation. So I'm not promising 30. So as a council, we should we'll talk amongst ourselves and schedule our usual time to get that checked off our list of things to get done. Okay, city attorney's report.
I couldn't help but notice we were a little short of public on public hearings.
Yeah, we were.
I would say that now with our expanding, or more correctly, bringing our police force up to full capacity will result in more work in mag court, and I appreciate that. Kevin?
I'd just like to, on behalf of my mother and my family, thank all of you for your support, the staff and the council, and Kelly for coming to the funeral. My parents or my family really appreciates that.
Great.
We appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Committee and council members report. Lori, we can start with you.
Most things have been said. I would like to hear from Sherry about the creek.
Cyclocross?
Yes,
Yeah.
I would like to.
Yeah. No, it's not cyclocross, it's cross. So, because you can run cross-country or you can bike, so we call it cross. Would you talk about that, Sherry?
I
Go ahead,
sure
Sherry.
can.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Thursday, we are going to have our grand opening for Coralville Creekside Cross, and that is our newest park area. It's actually adjacent to Coralville Creekside Ballpark, and if anybody's familiar with that area, the terraced hills and the wooded area at the Charles Gay Farm was something that we'd been sitting and wondering what to do with, and an idea came out of the bicycling community here this spring, and volunteers and staff have worked really hard to get this. Lori's correct. It's a cross course. You can cycle, cross bike, you can cross country run, you can of course just hike the course, and in the wintertime you can cross country ski. So we wanted to make sure everyone understood that a lot of different people are welcome. The festivities start at 5:45 to 6:15. You can walk the course. 6:15 will be brief remarks and ribbon cutting. And then immediately after that, we're going to have a cyclocross demonstration. So come out for some refreshments and just to take a beautiful walk in the terraced hills and in the wooded area there at what was formerly Charles Gay Farm.
Have we sent media advisories about this event?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Just because in random conversations, why I wanted you to say, I've had just told 3 people that have brought cyclocross up to me, and I said, oh, we're actually opening a thing up in Coralville on Thursday, and people were, crazy excited. It's the most excited I've seen them about something in a long time, but no one knew that this was even happening.
Yeah,
So
it's been
okay.
out
It's been
to
in
the
papers and-
papers.
okay.
Or we've sent it to the papers, Facebook, social media, and then the Iowa City Cyclocross Club has been heavily involved in this and has also been promoting it.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you, Sherry.
I'm bringing my bike.
Sherry, just before you move, can you also mention what's going on at the Altmeyer Farm? Because there's been a lot of volunteers there.
Yeah. We've had an incredible summer of grassroots projects with Parks and Recreation, and those are really exciting. I love all of our projects, but when you can get the community really involved, that's been really great. And so what we have going on at Altmeyer Farm is we're building an 18-hole disc golf course, as well as in the future we'll add to that area with some games like horseshoes and concrete ping pong tables and things like that in the center area. So we have the first volunteers from the Iowa City Disc Golf Association along with our staff. and many others have come out on multiple weekends starting in January and have cleared the fairways of a lot of that understory brush that we've been talking about earlier. Have gotten that ready. They've been pouring the concrete pads here late July and into early August. And we have the first 10 holes that we're getting done this fall. Probably have a soft opening in late September or October. And then next spring we'll be able to do the final 8 holes due to some farming commitments that were already on the land. And we'll finish that up and then start to dream about what the center area could be. It will also have the opportunity to have, we also have an area for sorry, I'm blanking on the word, archery practice range, as well as you could do an archery event where you go actually through the trees along the same course as the disc golf and have the targets up in the trees. So we're excited about that. And there's just other opportunities that we can do out there, and we'll continue to work and plan with the community on what they'd like to see it be.
Super.
Yeah, I had a comment from Elaine Altmeyer Hattie that grew up on that farm, and obviously many, many years ago. But one of her comments was that she was so excited with all the work the volunteers have done because the farm hasn't looked that good since when her dad was alive and actually farming the site many, many years ago. So she said it just looks gorgeous out there.
Great. Anything else, Lori?
No, thank you. Thank you, Sherry.
Yep, thank you, Sherry. Tom?
Sure. I've got a couple items with the IRL. If I can get this thing straight here. U.S. News and World Report ranks the University of Iowa Hospital healthcare among best hospitals in America, and #1 in Iowa. And there's our picture. There's the picture of the university hospital in our IRL. So going over to that, congratulations to the University of Iowa Hospital. But the reason that hospital is there is because of TIF. That infrastructure would not have been there if there hadn't been a TIF. And we've been working on TIF for 20 years, and we've been beat up on it. And quite frankly, we've got the best hospital in the state in the IRL, and a lot of it is due to TIF. So when you're arguing about TIF, don't talk to me about TIF, because TIF works. And a lot of the enhancements we've had in this community is because of TIF. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Mitch?
All right, a couple things. First, I want to give a shout out and congratulations to Officers Penrod, Spencer, Duncan, and Caffer. So, Chief, please pass those along. We're just really pleased that they chose Coralville, and we obviously appreciate all the work that you guys do for us. So it's kind of lended into the great National Night Out. It's just, it's probably one of my favorite council nights of the year. Just seeing, it's unfortunately it's not what you see on the news. It's police officers and kids playing basketball together, and communities and neighbors interacting, and I wish that got more coverage than it does. I have, for those people that are interested, this coming Saturday at 2 o'clock is the ribbon cutting ceremony for Liberty High School. I'll be standing in for Mayor Lindell as Mayor Pro Tem. Remember, 30% of the kids at Liberty are Coralville students, or Coralville residents. So it's definitely, it's kind of getting billed as North Liberty School, but a third of the kids are from Coralville. So that's at 2 o'clock on this Saturday. And I'd like to, two quick things too. I do want to give a moment. Lisa Martin, our longtime Coralville Public Library Board Trustees member, received an unfortunate diagnosis of cancer a few weeks back. So I would like to keep her in our thoughts and prayers as we continue on that. And finally, I'm going to give a final congratulatory note. Last Sunday, I was able to preside at Northridge Pavilion over the ceremony of giving 5 scouts their Eagle rank, which was a pretty cool thing. And 4 of the 5 scouts had done really impressive Eagle Scout projects in our community. That's all we've got, Mayor.
Great. Thank you, Mitch. Bill?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A couple of things. Condolences once again to Kevin and the entire Olson family. Sorry for your loss. Jill, I know you're watching. Hope you get better soon. I'd like to reiterate congratulations to the officers. If they were picked for this department, I know they're going to be quality individuals, and thank them in advance for their service to our community. And also reiterate congratulations to Kelly for 29 years of outstanding service to the city. And that's all.
Okay, very well put, all of them.
You weren't known as the Silver Beaver 29 years ago, were you?
And there you're known as that now.
I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Gill, seconded by Goodrich. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Okay, we're adjourned.